Hi everyone, I'm MacKenzie with the Beaverton City Library, and I'm here in my office at the Murray Shoals branch. In December 2021, I held a Hygge virtual program where we had cozy drinks, we met over Zoom, and we talked about what books we consider to be Hygge reads. So if you don't already know, Hygge is a term that essentially means to be cozy, whether it's like with fire and candles, maybe something cozy and warm to drink and eat, and maybe like you're wrapped up in a scarf or you're huddled up in a blanket. Anyways, coziness is the main thing. So when I think of cozy Hygge reads, for me personally, that's going to might be something nostalgic, might be something that's going to be a low stress read, so not a lot of action. It's probably something that's going to have a happy ending. All right. I'm going to talk about a lot of books. I'm going to go through them really, really quickly. Okay. So I'm not going to talk a lot about each one. And just remember, what is a Hygge read to me might not be a Hygge read to you. Okay. So keep that in mind. The first thing I think of when I think of Hygge reads, something with a happy ending, I think of romance novels, and I've been reading a good chunk of romance novels these past 2 years. So I'm going to start there, but don't worry if that's not your thing. I have other books as well. So first off, one of my favorite romance novelists is Jasmine Guillory. The Wedding Date is her first book, and it's about Alexa and Drew. They are stuck on an elevator together, and Drew needs a date for his ex's wedding. So Alexa becomes his wedding date. Same author, and set in the same world of characters is Royal Holiday. I want to say this is maybe book number 4 in the series, I think. But great thing about this one that I like, that makes it like a Hygge read, is it's set in winter around the holidays in England on a royal estate. So another thing, when I think of a Hygge read, is something that might transport you to a new place or a new time in a very relaxing manner. And this will do that for you. Another romance novelist I like is Talia Hibbert. This is Get a Life, Chloe Brown. This is the first in her Brown Sisters trilogy. And this is Chloe, and this is Red, and Chloe lives in an apartment building, and Red is her superintendent. And I think they meet officially when she is attempting to rescue this cat out of a tree, and Red tries to help. So, very sweet, all of them. All right, next we have Bingo Loves. So this is a graphic novel, and this is about 2 women who fall in love in 1963. And then they reunite 50 years later. Isn't that so sweet? I love it. Okay, next one is also a graphic novel, and I'm going to say that it's not necessarily going to be a Hygge read to everybody, but for me it is, because whenever a new volume comes out of the saga series, I reread all of the preceding volumes. So this is volume 1. It's by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples, and I think we have 9 volumes now. So I need 9 is waiting on my shelf. I haven't read it yet, but I'm going to reread volumes 1 through 8 before getting to volume 9. So for me, it's a nostalgia thing, personally. But great graphic novel series, highly recommend. Next, I have The Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden. I chose this one. It's kind of similar to Saga in that, like, it's not a relaxing read. There's a lot going on, but it is set in like what would be modern day Russia during the winter. So in that sense, like, it's a very cozy read, and it's a beautiful story. But yeah, it is on the dark side. During the Hygge program, I asked people what they consider their Hygge reads to be. And somebody said The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Classic. To realize one's destiny is a person's only obligation. Classic. All right, next we have some like poetry type books. This one is The Book of Delights by Ross Gay. I read this one, I want to say in early 2021. It was Multnomah County Library's Everybody Reads title, I think. And it's a book of essays. And what Ross Gay did is he wrote an essay for one essay every single day for a year about something that delights him, brings him joy, happiness, something to that effect. And then he published them. Not all of them, but there are a good chunk of these essays in this book. And it was delightful to read, and a reason why I now own it. Next, we have All Along You Were Blooming, Thoughts for Boundless Living. It's by Morgan Harper Nichols. It's a collection of poetry. And one of the reasons I love this book, it's not just for the poetry, but also for just all the pages are illustrated. I like this. Your heart is a wondrous thing. Somebody put this post-it in there. That's lovely. But yeah, I think because of the artwork, I actually, the artwork and the poetry, this is one I own as well. I started to read this one, but I haven't finished yet, and somebody has it on hold, so I need to return it. Is The Comfort Book by Matt Haig, and it's just got these little essays that have some really golden nuggets of what you might consider to be advice or just like thoughts on living. It's just really enjoying it, but I have to come back to it when there isn't quite a list on it. All right, next I have some cookbooks for you to help make some cozy food. My absolute favorite cookbook is the Smitten Kitchen Cookbook by Deb Pearlman. If I showed you my copy at home, you would see that it is a well-loved cookbook. And my recommendation for you, if you want to make something that's like a Hygge snack, are these blue cheese and black pepper Georges, I think they're called. But either way, they're essentially cheese buns, and they're delicious, and they make your home smell incredible. Incredible. Next, there is Scandinavian comfort food. That's where Hygge, the term, comes from, and there is a section in here specifically that talks about Hygge, and there's a recipe for, I want to say, buns and hot cocoa, which just sounds really cozy and lovely right now. And last but not least, there is The Little Book of Hygge, Danish Secrets to Happy Living, in case you want to learn more about Hygge. So those are the books I have for you. I hope you found something new to read, and thank you for tuning in. Bye, everyone.